Welcome back to today's explainer. Look, if you're completely fed up with hearing about restrictive crash diets or, those empty promises about magic pills, you are in the exact right place. We're skipping the fads today. Instead, we're diving straight into the actual biological machinery of anti-aging and natural self-cleaning. We're going to look at the incredible micro machines operating right inside of you right now and exactly how you can optimize them.
Here is our roadmap for the explainer today. First, identifying signs of toxicity. Second, your body's natural detox mechanisms. Third, liver protection foods. Fourth, the longevity diet. And finally, number 5, a practical 7-day detox plan. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, Signs of Toxicity.
Okay, it is definitely time we stop brushing off our everyday fatigue as just, a normal part of life. That constant exhaustion? It isn't just you getting older, it's a very real biological SOS signal. I mean, think about it. Do you feel sluggish, maybe bloated, or like your brain is just wrapped in this thick fog, even after chugging a really strong cup of coffee? We kind of trick ourselves into thinking energy drinks and heavy caffeine will power us through. But actually, scratch that, it doesn't solve the root cause at all. It honestly just throws your body into a deeper, long-term energy crash cycle. The body's always communicating with us, we just need to start listening.
Because when we ignore those signals, toxins start accumulating in your system. And they don't just sit there passively. They literally create physical barriers in the body. They block your cells from absorbing essential vitamins. They completely mess with your melatonin, which ruins your sleep. They even lock up your fat stores, meaning your body hoards this toxic fat as a protective measure, making weight loss feel totally impossible no matter how hard you diet. Add in constant headaches and severe mood swings, and yeah, you've got a perfect storm. So many people mistake these frustrations for personality flaws or just normal aging. But the absolute crucial point here is this. These are urgent distress signals from a system that is begging for a clean-out.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, Natural Detox Mechanisms.
So how exactly do we clean it out? Well, the good news is your body comes pre-equipped with these unbelievable biological micro-machines designed to literally clean house, starting right inside your brain. Imagine the lymphatic system in your brain as a massive fleet of garbage trucks that only operate when the sun goes down. When you fall into a really deep sleep, cerebral spinal fluid starts pumping forcefully, just washing away all that cellular waste. And the most notorious piece of trash it takes out? The beta amyloid protein, which is a massive culprit in memory loss. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This deep cleaning process absolutely requires full 90-minute sleep cycles. If you aren't getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, you miss out on those vital deep and REM sleep phases. The garbage trucks literally don't finish their route, so you wake up with leftover brain trash, which leads to morning anxiety, brain fog, and just severe irritability.
Let's move to our next mechanism, and you'll see how this builds on that whole concept of self-cleaning. It's called autophagy. See, when we're constantly eating, our bodies use immediate glucose for energy and just store whatever's left over as fat. But when we pause eating, like through intermittent fasting, we flip a metabolic switch. By depriving the body of that constant drip of glucose, we force it to start burning fat for energy. And this pivot, it triggers autophagy. You can think of it like a cellular recycling program, where your cells actively hunt down their own damaged, aging components, break them apart, and completely rebuild themselves. It is just a fascinating feat of self-preservation.
So you might be wondering, how long does it take to actually flip that switch? Well, just by skipping breakfast after a solid night's sleep, hitting that 8 to 12-hour mark, your blood ketones begin to rise. But ketones aren't just fuel. By hour 24, they undergo this amazing transformation. They literally become antioxidant commanders, actively sending out signals across your whole body to fight off oxidative stress. And if you're able to safely push toward 48 hours, wow, you activate maximum longevity and anti-aging mode. Your body is quite literally healing itself from the inside out at that point.
All right, moving down the body, let's hit Section 3, liver protection foods. Now that we've cleaned the brain and the cells, let's take our tour straight to the liver. Your liver is essentially the hardest working water filtration plant in your entire biological city, and it obviously needs the right supplies to keep running. But before we even touch superfoods, we have to talk about the absolute foundation here, water. We're talking 3.7 liters a day for men and 2.7 liters a day for women. Why so much? Because water acts as the conveyor belt for your liver and your kidneys. It's the river that actually flushes the toxic waste out of the system. If you're dehydrated, the conveyor belt stops. The whole factory completely halts, and those toxins just back up right into your bloodstream. Not good. Once you've got that hydration foundation set, we can introduce the workforce. Let's look at the protectors versus the destroyers.
Protectors, like the allicin you find in garlic and cruciferous veggies, directly activate your natural detox enzymes. The antioxidants in coffee, green tea, and berries actively protect your liver cells, and the omega-3s in olive oil and fatty fish, they actually scrub away accumulated liver fat. It's incredible. But on the flip side, we have the ultimate destroyer, excess alcohol. When you overload your liver with alcohol, over 90% of it converts into a highly toxic compound called acetaldehyde. This chemical creates massive inflammation, leaves permanent physical scars on your liver, and can literally shut down your body's natural detoxing abilities.
Let's zoom out a bit for Section 4, the longevity diet. Understanding those protectors and destroyers perfectly sets us up to look at the big picture of human nutrition. Enter the EAT-Lancet diet, which is usually just called the Planetary Health Diet, or PhD. Now, the absolute brilliance of the PhD diet isn't about what it forcefully takes away, but rather its incredible flexibility. It doesn't demand extreme, miserable deprivation at all. It just prioritizes unrefined, plant-based foods while still allowing for moderate amounts of high-quality meat and dairy. Because it's so flexible, this isn't some grueling 30-day crash course. It's a sustainable, lifelong habit that provides incredible healing power.
The scientific community is just incredibly excited about this approach because of the massive statistical leaps we're seeing. To put it in perspective, for the top 10% of people who strictly follow the PhD diet, the risk of premature mortality from major things like heart disease and cancer drops by a staggering 30%. 30%! That is a massive leap for your personal health. But it gets even better. By reducing heavy meat reliance, this diet simultaneously drops greenhouse gas emissions by 30% and halves our land use requirements. So you're actively healing your own biological ecosystem while simultaneously healing the planet's ecosystem. A real win-win.
Okay, let's put this into practice. Section 5, the 7-day detox plan. We've covered the biological theory, the internal mechanisms, and the overall dietary framework. Now let's transition to immediate action. This is your practical roadmap to resetting your system. Here is your specific natural detox water schedule. On day 1, you're going to infuse your water with cucumber and mint, which specifically targets and cleanses your intestinal tract. Fast forward to day 3, and you pivot to beetroot-infused water, an absolutely powerful agent to flush heavy metals from your system. By day 5, we bring in passion fruit, which provides a massive dose of nutrients geared specifically toward deep skin recovery. So as you can see, this isn't just about casually drinking water. It's about hitting unique biological targets every couple of days to keep the body highly hydrated and systematically refreshed. But to actually make those detox waters work, you absolutely must adhere to the 4 golden rules of this 7-day maintenance schedule. These are totally non-negotiable. Rule 1, you spark your metabolism every single morning with warm ginger lemon water. Rule 2, you ruthlessly eliminate all refined sugar and fried foods from your diet. Rule 3, hit a bare minimum of 2 liters of water every single day to keep that liver conveyor belt moving. And Rule 4, honestly the absolute most important rule, lights out and sleep before 11 p.m. Remember the garbage trucks? You literally must give your brain the time and the stage it needs to perform that nightly lymphatic sweep. If you stay up late scrolling on your phone, you ruin the entire biological reset. So the crucial takeaway here is this. From the sweeping mechanisms of your brain, to the regenerative power of autophagy, to your liver's incredible filtration system, all of these perfect biological machines are already built inside of you right now. The open question is, will you treat your body as a sacred temple that requires ongoing care and maintenance, or will you continue to use it as an endless toxic warehouse? The 7-day plan is entirely in your hands. I challenge you to harness these incredible biological tools and start your regenerative journey tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.